Hi everybody, this is Melissa, your free range psychic. Today is the 15th of December 2024, and today I am going to do a past life reading on the possibility that Peter Thiel was reincarnation of Hans Hinkel. And I had all this kind of arranged out at the end of November, but I was a little spooked, a little scared for some reason. I had a nightmare where Peter Thiel showed up and kind of looked me in the eyes, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to do this right now. But I think it is in the zeitgeist, and I asked my guides for protection, and that we're all encircled with light, and it is a good time to illuminate things that are in the darkness. So I'm going to go ahead and do it today. I had something else planned even, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And nothing I say is set in stone. Entertainment purposes only. I hear these things from my guides, but you may hear something else. And I say that about all my past life studies. These are just people and places that I'm guided to, and I make the connections and then I present them to you, but again, not set in stone, open to interpretation. Yeah, and saying that, we're going to get into it, but first I'd like to say that as usual, I'm using the Tarot Marchetti Gilded Tarot for the reading, and then we're going to have an oracle card from the Sacred Forest Oracle, which I'm totally falling in love with, by Denise Lynn. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. It really helps me on the algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That would be fantastic. I'm almost up to 12,000, and I would be so happy if that happens sooner than later, but whatever. Also, I'm still available for personal readings. You can find my information below in the description box and at the end of the musical interlude. And I do have a website, melissafreerangesite.com, but I don't list my prices or anything. Just email me, or you can text me 734-773-9758, and I'll let you know my information. Okay, that's out of the way now. Let's get into it. Maybe I'm procrastinating. Peter Thiel's energy is just so dark and sinister, and I got more and more shocked the more I researched him. Now, that was several weeks ago, and I may not remember, certain things may not come to mind, and I please ask you guys, do your research. And there's a lot with these guys. So Hans Hinkel, as you saw in the introduction, and oh my God, what do you think about the juxtaposition of those two men, the photographs? The likeness just shocked me. So how did I get guided to Hans Hinkel, who was the chief of propaganda and culture and during the Third Reich, during the Hitler administration? My guides just said head of propaganda to me, because I was asking them, hey, can you tell me who Thiel was? And then I thought, well, isn't that Goebbels or Goebbels? And I've done a past life on Goebbels, by the way. But then I looked, and I found Hans Hinkel, and then the likeness just was just so in my face, and I went down that rabbit hole. My guide said, yes, this is who Peter Thiel was in that lifetime. And then I put together, the intro, and there's a lot of similarities between these two guys. Lots of, let me just put it contextually, where people will ask, well, if somebody had this infamous life in the past, wouldn't he or she want to, be a better person in the future? Why are they just repeating the same mistakes or the same patterns? And the the key ingredient here, the thing that we always forget about, is free will. And there are souls who want to go down a dark path and they don't want to give that path up. And it's not like when you die, as far as my awareness, of course, everybody has their own perception, that you're, told by this angry parent, you should have done this and you should have done that, and next time you're going to do this better. That's not how it works. We're given this grace of free will and this gift, this great gift of free will. And we accrue our own karma. We don't always face it in the lifetime that we're creating it in. It comes back in other lifetimes and in ways even more subtle than we're aware of. But we're given opportunity to change our minds. We're given opportunity to get shown a better path. But certain souls don't take it. You can also say that, some people are just born to be negative teachers and teach us how not to be. But even in that case, they're still accruing karma. It's not like they get immunity or something because they represent figure like Trump or, an archetypal villain. And so that's how I perceive it, or that's how I hear it from my guides. Why, somebody like Hans Hinkel, who was evil, and I would say equal to Thiel, in his lifetime, why did he come back and then just go down the same path? So Hans Hinkel, he was born in Germany, and so, was Thiel. And he became an early follower of Hitler and was it National Socialism or whatever. And he was in the SS paramilitary group. He was also in the Push Beer Hall Rebellion. I think had to flee the country for that. And then he was rewarded for that by Hitler later on. And he I think, was taken under the wing of Goring, or sorry, not Goring, Goebbels. But he's a journalist. And he became the head of the film division of the propaganda wing. And he also was responsible and spearheaded this program where he separated the Jewish artists, musicians, cultural leaders from the Aryan Germanic culture, and he segregated them, and he made it so that they couldn't intermix, and castigated them, obviously, and put them in a secondary role. But he was basically trying to purify Aryan culture, and because the Jews were subhuman and tainted the Aryan culture in the Nazi mind, he created this system of segregation. And I believe it did lead, to Jews going to camps, to Jews getting things confiscated from them. He was a notorious plunderer of, I believe, Polish art, and a lot of that belonged to the Jews there. And I believe that later on, when he was captured and tried, that was one of the things he was tried for. But that his legacy was to separate the cultures, weed out the influence of these inferior cultures, and enforce them. So if you were a Jew, you couldn't go to an opera. That it's like the segregation here in the United States with African Americans. You couldn't probably drink out of the same water fountain. You couldn't go see the same movie. You had to have your own venue. And his the end of his life, he wasn't. I don't believe he was tried in Nuremberg. I think he was tried in I could be wrong here again, Polish prison. He was sent to serve 2 years in a labor camp, and then later on in his life, I think 8 years altogether, where he was imprisoned in various places. I think first interned in Dachau. He disappeared. I could not find anything about his later life, even how he died. My guides say he died in ignominy. This word I had to look up. He was ignominious. Somebody who is thought of with shame, thought of as a terrible figure. Somebody who is maybe, my guides are saying that when he left the camps, he had to probably hide his identity, or because he wasn't welcomed with open arms. He was looked upon with disgust later on in his life. My guides showed me, I'm not sure if this is true or not, it's just what I see, him changing his name, him living a pretty nondescript life, trying to keep out of the public eye, and then dying, just a sad death. I don't know if he was ever married. I couldn't find any of that information, or if he had any children, but that's Hans Hinkel. There's probably a lot, though, about him during the time that he was active. And of course, he was in the same tier as Goering and Goebbels and all those guys. He was one of them. And I don't think he ever wanted, or I shouldn't say that, I meant not wanted, but he never felt remorse. What I was trying to say was never wanted to change his ways. But really, it's more apt to say he still believed in Nazism and the superiority of the Aryan culture and the Aryan race up probably till he died. That's what my guide showed me anyway. So then you have Thiel, who's also, I believe, born in Germany. And then when he's 1 year old, I think he was moved around a lot. I think he was taken by his parents to United States, but then they also lived in South Africa and various places around the world. And I think he's the one, by the way, that I was thinking of when I talked about Musk changing or getting naturalized as a New Zealand citizen. I think that Thiel actually did that. I think he's a citizen of New Zealand. And, oh my goodness, when I was reading his history regarding, being the founder of PayPal, or one of the co-founder, and then one of the things is that he's not really known ostensibly for by the public, I don't think, is that he founded or created this company called Palantir. Now that is super scary, because that has everything to do with data analytics, AI. It's used, his programs are used by the CIA and a lot of different government departments, and it gets deep into, cybersecurity and all kinds of things like that. If you look up Palantir, which is like worth billions of dollars, and really seems to be embedded in our security analytics systems, things, those kinds of programs or those kinds of services. How did he get so deep into our government that way? I'm shocked. And look up Palantir. He named it because he's really into the Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings too. So it's kind of sad. I don't think he took the same observations that I took from the Lord of the Rings. I was not a fan of Sauron, but yeah, maybe Thiel seems to have been. But Palantir was this oval disc that, if you looked into it, you could see it, like scrying. You could see all kinds of things and foretell things. But the devil's eye, or the eye of Sauron, was in that stone and could just see you, and you would get absorbed into the stone. And so he named his company Palantir. and he's got some other companies too. He's really into AI and all kinds of cyber security programs, not or ways to at least in the past, ways to track espionage from other countries. But this is a man. This is a man who wields a lot of power. A lot of power. And he is also very much somebody who, like Hans Hinkel, believes in the superiority of the white male. He's a libertarian, super libertarian. He really believes that the wealthy, he's a proligarch, the wealthy should rule the world and the poor should suffer, because that's the way that what Darwinism works, or something, that if you can rise to that top, no matter how you do it, that place, then you rule the rest, and you deserve everything, and they deserve nothing, and this is how life operates. And he speaks about it. He actually teaches about it and gives lectures about it all over the world, I believe. He's really anti-democracy, anti-LGBTQ, anti-affirmative action. He's a big misogynist, and he makes no bones about it. He is out there with all of that. And he is of a superior race, and he is superior to all of us. So in this reading, I'm going to get into it now. He's represented by the devil. This is his energy. This is where he gets his power. It's, the card of the narcissist, which is also here, 5 of Swords. And he is represented by the King of Swords, so this is like the king of technology, really. And he's up there in the clouds, ruling everything behind the scenes. Above, this is the King of Pentacles and the Tower, and this is somebody who's financing the fall of the Tower, and the fall of the Tower is representing the fall of our government. Or it's not that our government's falling. He wants to create this. He's behind the scenes creating the fall of democracies around the world. Also, this card could also go into this past position where he's a funder of Trump and Vance. So he was one of the big players who got Vance chosen by Trump to be the vice president, but he's behind the scenes creating this illusion, and there's this transactional relationship here to get Trump and Vance elected. He was one of the people involved in this gaslighting, allegedly, according to my guides, and making this thing happen, this unlikely thing happen, because before the election, which I still say was rigged, and by, technology, which he's certainly a player in that, he creates this illusion, and then there you go. You have Trump ostensibly or allegedly elected miraculously, and underneath you have the Ace of Swords, and this is using technology as hybrid warfare. And you have a Ten of Pentacles, and this is someone, the guides say, whose main intention here is to have absolute power and have control over our resources. He wants our money. He wants our treasury. And this is direct. This is a direct attack to gain access to wealth and our country's wealth. And he's like this little rat here in the back. What am I going to do with all that money? I can't wait to get my hands on it. And that's what the guides say is his true intention. However, in the future, the guides say that a stop is put to this. The death card comes up, and the 9 of Wands. So you have an end to this takeover. Now, you know what I completely forgot to do? I'm going to go back here. Hans Hinkel is also included in this reading. So you have also somebody who used, and Wands, you could look at that as action, the arts, the journalism, whatever his energy. He's the head of this propaganda, cultural propaganda wing of the Department of Propaganda, and he's using it also to bring down or to completely eradicate German culture and put Nazi culture in its place. He's the main role here. And then you have Hans Hinkel as being lovers with Hitler. Hitlerism lifted him to this high place, and he is also a major adherent to Nazism. And the King of Pentacles is also his activity as a journalist and as a purveyor of art. And a magician, of course, this is journalism. This is using his skills to create propaganda that gaslights and causes people to believe in a false reality. And then underneath here, he's a plunderer of art and a major art thief. And he feels also no inhibition towards taking what is not his. And that is what one of the opportunities, or one of the gifts that he afforded himself, being part of this fascist regime, where you could do that. Take what was not yours with impunity. And then in his future, this is the end of the war, the end of his dreams to, continue to be a king, to be an all-powerful person who is bringing on the Nazism to the rest of the world and whatever, and eradicating all people of color, and also people who are Jews or Semites, etc. Whatever that I think it was 1,000-year Reich was the German vision, but at the end, the world put an end to it. And this is him living his life. Then Thiel here is, neither of them are remorseful. They continue to believe in their libertarian or Nazi, their Nazism to the end. So that's a prediction also for Thiel. Above, not above, clarification card, above the whole reading, I should say, is the King of Wands. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's true. The King of Wands, who is ruling the roost here, they're above everybody. This is the belief in the superiority of patriarchy and the white male. There's just no question here about the veracity of that belief. That is who they are. They're entitled. They're above everybody else. They're able and desirous to control everything through their will. And, the ultimate narcissist, if not narcissist, sociopath. And I only say that because I read somewhere where Musk allegedly called, Thiel called Musk a narcissist, and Musk called Thiel a sociopath. they're frenemies is what they are. And they certainly grew up together in this tech bro world, and are definitely players in it, and definitely helping each other towards this path, even though they're probably constantly falling out, and like the Five of Wands type relationship. But they definitely feel entitled to what they're doing. And then the outcome here, the guides called Judgment, and for Hans Hinkel, the world came down on judgment with Hitler and Nazism. And this judgment will be applied again to people like, is it, I want to say Thiel, but I think it's Thiel. And illuminate and reject Nazism and fascism and this philosophy that wants to impose this tyrannical government all over the world. Ten of Swords. This is the crashing down of Hans Hinkel's dreams and also Peter Thiel's dreams. He's caught here. I often see this as, karma raining down on someone, but it's karma that they created. They created their own downfall, their own defeat. And the deer here is like the world looking on. And then the hangman. So you had Hans Hinkel at the end of his life. He was caught. He was hung by his own petard, or hoisted by his own petard. He's not able to move here for the rest of his life after World War II. And then Thiel also, he's caught. He can't move. He can't escape his own crimes. So let me ask the guides, like, what his future looks like. The man behind the curtain, the man making everything happen, one of them anyway. It doesn't look good. My guides are saying, this is, by the way, for people who've never seen me before, when I'm using my pendulum, I don't use it in the typical way. I just let it open up a portal and then I can hear the guides. So the guides are saying that there's no escape. They want me to show you the hangman again. That Thiel is caught, and that he has been investigated. He has been even curtailed in some ways with his systems. So they're looking at, like, did his, not just Musk and Starling, but did Peter Thiel's systems play a part in the election, the rigging of the election? And the guides are definitely telling me, at least this is what I'm hearing, that this investigation is still going on because it's massive. All these things happen all over the country, if not, all over the world, to do what they did. And when I say they, Putin, using Musk and Trump and Thiel also, and all these players, to declare war on our country and steal our elections so they can put in a Putin puppet, which would be Trump in this case. That I feel that it's not good for him, for Thiel. And we will see him investigated. We will see heavy losses. That he will, even though he's a narcissist and he's always going to feel superior, we're going to see him illuminated. The lid's going to be blown off the pot soon. That's what they say. It's roiling up to a full boil, and we're going to start seeing a lot of things coming out regarding the election, regarding the steal, the players, and I hope I'm right about this, that there's going to be a stop put to it. It's like, this cannot stand. This cannot stand. So let's switch to our oracle card, and it is Aspen Spirit, Courage. If the Aspen Spirit card has shown up to your life today, it brings a message of courage, protection, community, and the ability to face and overcome obstacles in life. Know that you are protected and you are safe. You are ready to step forward with courage and grace, no matter what seems to be blocking your way. The Aspen's network of roots is a sign that you should open to support from others. Combine your effort with like-minded individuals. You don't need to do it all alone. This may be a good time to bond with people over a creative project or community endeavor. In Celtic tradition, the aspen was associated with community, endurance, and protection. Aspen was thought to be the teacher of fearlessness and carried a message of strength in facing the unknown. The spirit of the aspen says the energy of your inner spiritual warrior is ready to step forward to face any challenges or blockages in your life. Be willing to accept help. Be fearless. Okay, you guys, let me know what you think of this reading. I almost didn't do it because Peter Thiel freaked me out so much, but I'm glad I did. And, it's just entertainment purposes only, and what I thought I heard from my guides, where they led me. I love you. You take care. I'll be back. I think I'm going to be doing a live at 3 p.m. on Thursday. That is my goal. I'll let everybody know in my community page that that's a go for sure. But it's in my mind to do that. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Be well.